Well, I've gone and brought shame to my ancestors by giving myself a cavity and a toothache. Well, dental caries weren't really a thing in any culture until flour and sugar were introduced. And that's well supported in the archaeological record, even from the beginnings of agriculture in the Middle East. But luckily, I know a good species for relieving toothache. It's not very common in my area, but I know where it's hiding. And here it is. This is Zanthoxylum clava-herculis. It's called Hercules club, prickly ash, or the toothache tree. It has these really brutal thorns. Its foliage is very aromatic. It smells kind of like eucalyptus and camphor. It's in the Rutaceae, or the citrus family. And the Mexican Kickapoo were known to use the root bark of this in order to relieve toothache. The Comanche used a related species, common prickly ash, or Zanthoxylum americanum, in order to relieve toothache. And they would use the bark or the root bark of this for that purpose. So I'm gonna see if I can get some of that out. And it looks like a juniper has fallen over on this. I'm gonna see if I can cut that away to relieve some pressure, because the prickly ash is quite rare in this area and the juniper is everywhere. There we go. Now it's got a lot more room to breathe and grow. And the needles that the juniper drop can be allelopathic, meaning that they deter growth of other plant species. And this little spot, bark still looks green. It looks like it's a part that's recently broken off, probably when the juniper fell on it. So it should be okay to gather without harming the plant. It's a very medicinal taste. Wow, and it's totally numbing my tongue. Wow, my whole tongue is tingling and numb. That is amazing. Just immediate anesthetization. Well, I'm gonna gather a little bit more and carry it home. But man, this is a powerful medicine here. Well, if the root bark's better, I don't know how much better I need with this. Jeez, wonder how long this lasts. Definitely numbed any toothache I had. So a single tiny bit like this just instantly numbed my tongue and my whole mouth and my teeth and cavities. So a very good name, toothache tree. It definitely works. I'm not sure I need to even dig up the root bark, but I am curious what the difference is. Got a digging stick made out of mesquite, just sharpened at the end. You can fire harden it to make it more durable. This is the classic method of digging among different American Indians. So here's the root. A nice bright yellow color. It's kind of like yellow clay. Now let's sample just a tiny bit. Don't want to damage it too much. It's a little hard to tell since I already have the bark in my mouth, but it does seem to be a little bit more potent than the bark. And it's also kind of squishier, more juicy, so it kind of sticks to the cavity area better. So I can see why this might have been used. Mexican Kickapoo would actually dry it and powder it and apply the powder to the tooth, sometimes putting it in a cloth first. And the root had many uses among the Mexican Kickapoo besides for toothache. So the root bark would be dried and powdered and applied to burns to prevent scar formation. A decoction of the root bark was drunk in order to treat stomach ache and also flu, and that decoction of the root bark would be drunk by women in order to induce conception. The root itself was made into a decoction, and that was drunk in order to treat indigestion and also as an expectorant and to treat bronchitis. And the root decoction was also drunk in order to assist in delivery during labor.